Hey everyone, Andrew back again and welcome to another video. And today, as you can tell from the title, I'm here to do an album ranking of Testament. So yeah, I'm going to be ranking the entire Testament discography, which is 11 studio albums. And if you guys are not familiar with Testament, they are an American thrash band. They've been going for 30 plus years. They're still around. They started out in the late 80s and they're still going. So yeah, they've had a very lengthy career, 11 studio albums, and yeah, I'm here to rank them all. So this was extremely difficult. I actually spent the past 3 to 4 days re-listening to all of the albums and putting my rankings in place, and my list has changed a little bit. In fact, it changed about 2 to 3 times until I was 100% happy with where I'd placed all the albums. And definitely had a lot of fun re-listening to them, and it was quite interesting too, revisiting some albums. They shifted a little bit to where I initially thought they would be. So yeah, not much more to say other than this is my opinion. I'm sure if you were to rank Testament, your list would be different, your ranking positions would be different, but yeah, this is what I've come up with, so not much more to say other than let's get into it. Okay, so obviously I'm going to start with my least favourite and then work my way to my favourite album. Number 11 was very easy. I already knew this would be my least favourite before revisiting all the albums. That is Demonic. Simply, I don't like this album, so yeah, definitely my least favourite Testament album, so that is Demonic at 11th spot. Next up goes to Low. Now, before revisiting this one, I actually thought this was going to be higher on the list, but no, I decided to put Low in 10th spot. Reason being is I like half of the album and then I'm not too keen on the other half of the songs within this album. This is where their sound changed, which I don't have an issue with. I really like the vocal change, and that's not my issue. My issue is I only really like half of this album and the other half is kind of average to me. So yeah, Low sits at number 10. Number 9 goes to Dark Roots of Earth. Now this isn't a bad album, but it's definitely my least favourite of the more recent album releases. There's not really a bad song on this, but then there's not really an absolutely truly amazing song either. It's just a good album, so yeah, that's Dark Roots of Earth. Number 8 goes to Brotherhood of the Snake. Now, this is another example of why it was a good idea for me to re-listen to these albums, because before doing that, I actually thought this was going to be a lot higher on the list. But upon revisiting it, I had to put this in 8th spot. I think the first sort of 3 to 4 songs on this album are phenomenal. This album starts really strong and then it slowly gets weaker and weaker. So yeah, that is why I decided to put Brotherhood of the Snake at 7th spot. Sorry, 8th spot. Already lost count. Okay, 7th spot goes to Souls of Black, and this may be a surprise to some Testament fans because I know this isn't normally a very popular album, and yes, it does suffer from bad production, but that's it. Apart from bad production, I really like this album. It also has one of my all-time favourite Testament songs, being Face in the Sky, which I think's absolutely fantastic, and overall it's a solid album. It just suffers from bad production, so that's Souls of Black at number 7. Number 6, this is where things started to get a little bit more tricky for me. So number 6 is Formation of Damnation, which is obviously their comeback album, and what a comeback. This album is phenomenal. From start to finish, it's just pure modern thrash, and I absolutely love it. So that is Formation of Damnation at number 6. Now, I could have swapped Formation and the next album around quite easily. However, The Ritual just bid out Formation of Damnation to make 5th spot. This is a good album. I think this is a really, really solid album with a lot of really good songs on it. However, this one does have my all-time favourite Testament song, which is Electric Crown. So that is the reason why it just bid out Formation, and it sits at number 5. So that's The Ritual. Okay, now on to my top 4. So yeah, sitting at number 4 goes to The Gathering. What an absolutely phenomenal album. Just absolutely amazing. Very, very heavy. Definitely the heaviest, or one of the heaviest Testament albums, especially from a vocal standpoint. I love the vocals within this album. There's a lot of variety. There's some softer vocals, and then there's some really heavy guttural vocals bordering on death metal. Just absolutely fantastic. Drumming, guitar work is really, really aggressive within this album as well, which I love. And yeah, it's just fantastic. So The Gathering sits at number 4. And this is where things got really, really difficult for me. So sitting at number 3 goes to The New Order. I don't think this is a bad album whatsoever. In fact, it is absolutely phenomenal. However, it's not quite as good, in my opinion, as the next two. So many good songs on this. Eerie Inhabitants, I think, is a really, really good opener. Into the Pit, Disciples of the Watch, the title track New Order, The Preacher, just, yeah, absolutely phenomenal album. So, but it sits at number 3 for me, so that is The New Order. Okay, now when I said at the beginning of the video that my list changed 2 to 3 times, these 2 titles are the main reason for that. So honestly, on any given day, my first and second spot could easily switch, but for now, this is how I've ranked them. So number 2 goes to Practice What You Preach. Absolutely incredible album. This to me is flawless. There's not a bad track on this album. It is absolutely amazing from start to finish. Very, very clean production, and yeah, there's not much more to say than that. It's just absolutely phenomenal. There's so many great songs on this. Practice What You Preach, Perilous Nation, Time Is Coming, which is one of my all-time favourite Testament songs. Yeah, just, this is a flawless album. As I said, not a bad track on it, and absolutely love it. However, this album only just slightly beats it out for a couple of reasons, and that of course is The Legacy. So sitting at number 1 goes to the amazing debut album, The Legacy. Not only is this my favourite Testament album, but it's probably my favourite debut album when it comes to a thrash album. This is another flawless album. And the only reasons why, there's 2 reasons why this bid out Practice What You Preach. One, it's slightly darker in tone, which I like. And 2, for the song Alone in the Dark, which is my favourite song on this album, and probably my second favourite Testament song next to Electric Crown. I just absolutely love it. Amazing vocals. The drumming and guitar riffs and solos within this album are just absolutely incredible, and as I said, I like the darker tone within this album. So yeah, The Legacy sits at number 1 for me. Okay, so that does it. That was my discography ranking for Testament, where I ranked all 11 studio albums. As I said, not an easy task, but I absolutely love these guys, and this video has been a ton of fun for me to do. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of my ranking in the comment section below. I'm sure you guys have different opinions. And if you guys feel like doing a ranking yourselves, either leave them in the comments below, or better still, do a video response. I would love you guys to do some video responses with your Testament studio album rankings. That would be pretty cool. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching.